Good morning, children. Welcome back to session 3 of A reading from second unit, that is The Dear Departed. So, in the last two sessions, we have discussed about introduction part and story. So, just quickly recall the lesson once. So, it's an one act play. Main characters are Abel Merriweather, who is an old man. He was having two kids, Emilia and Elizabeth. Henry and Ben are their husbands respectively. Victoria is daughter of Emilia, of 10 years old girl, very precocious, very intelligent girl. One day they found that Abel Merriweather was died in his bedroom. So this Emilia and Henry sent telegram to Elizabeth. They were coming over to discuss about the property details. But before their arrival itself, Emilia wanted to like steal or pinch the bureau which was in her father's bedroom, which was like an old fashioned table. She always wanted to have that, but if Elizabeth came to know about that, definitely she will not give that. That's why before her arrival itself, they wanted to change that bureau from her father's bedroom to hall. She took the help from her husband Henry. They shifted that successfully. They replaced the bureau with old chest of drawers which was there in her hall. Okay, so while doing that and discussing, they heard some noise or a knock at the door. What was that? Who came? What happened later? We'll see in today's session. Open your textbooks, open page number 38. I'm going to read it. Now the continuation of the lesson. That's Victoria ushers in Ben and Mrs. Jordan. The latter is a stout, complacent woman with an irritating air of being always right. She is wearing an outfit of new mourning. Ben is also in complete new mourning. He is rather a jolly little man, but at present trying to adapt himself to the regrettable occasion. Mrs. Jordan sails into the room and solemnly goes straight to Mrs. Slater and kisses her. The men shake hands. So who came? What was the knock? Who came now? Ben and Mrs. Jordan. That means Elizabeth. So Victoria ushers. Ushers means leading. So leading means here shows. Victoria shows the way. Victoria went and opened the door and she shows the way to her uncle and aunt. Ben and Elizabeth came to their house. Okay, so here the description is about Elizabeth. See that. The latter is a stout. Stout means like strong. Okay, who is a fat, and complacent. Complacent means self-satisfied. Complacent means self-satisfied. Okay, so here the latter, Latter. Observe children, it's not Later, it's Latter. The latter is generally used to talk about if there are two persons or two things. If we are going to talk about the second person or second thing, then in that context we use this word latter. So here actually who came? He gave like Ben and Mrs. Jordan. So here it is about the latter is, that means this description is about whom? This is about Elizabeth Jordan. How is she? She is of like stout, complacent, that means a self-satisfied woman with an irritating air. Here air means attitude. So here the meaning of air is attitude. Okay, so always she is having an attitude of irritating nature. Okay, that means she used to get angry very shortly or always, often she used to be very angry always. Okay, so that irritating air of being always right. Not only that, she used to think about herself that she is always right. Okay, so that was the nature of Elizabeth. And coming to this Ben, so how was he? He was like a jolly little man, but at present trying to adapt himself to the regrettable occasion. So what was the regrettable occasion here? Why they came here actually? Actually, it was the death, right? So his uncle was died. That's why he came here. Generally, usually he is like a jolly person. That means who always looks very happy. Okay, but now, so in that situation, he can't be happy, right? That's why he was trying to adapt himself to the regrettable occasion. And Mrs. Jordan sails into the room. Here, sails means goes into the room, and solemnly goes straight. That means to the Mrs. Slater and kisses her. The men shake hands. So this was how they were addressing or wishing each other. So Mrs. Slater went straightly to her sister and kisses her. Of course, both the men, that means Henry and Ben, they shake their hands. And one more important thing here you have to observe is here both Ben and Elizabeth Jordan are in mournings. See children, this one MOURNING. It's not MORNING. MOURNING, mourning means here the clothes. So generally, as I told you in the previous session, here we wear white clothes. Okay, but they wear like black clothes. Here the mourning means here what is the meaning? The black clothes. Generally they used to wear at the funeral takes place. Okay, okay. Next one. Let's continue. Mrs. Jordan. Well, Amelia, and so he has gone at last. See, look at her. What is she saying? Elizabeth to her sister. What is she saying? Well, Amelia, and so he has gone at last. Here, he means who? They're talking about their father. See how they are feeling. They're not at all sad. They are not at all feeling bad. They're enjoying. They're happy. And they are thinking, oh, thank God, at least now he has gone. God, he has gone finally. That's how they are thinking about their father. That's what the author wanted to show about the present day relationships, children. Understood? Next. So Mrs. Slater, yes, he has gone. Here, children, he has gone. Okay. He was 72 a fortnight last Sunday. She sniffs back a tear. Okay. See here, fortnight. Fortnight means here 2 weeks. Fortnight means 2 weeks. So just he turned 72 2 years back. So 72 means it's more than enough. Their feeling was that. Okay, finally he has gone and just they try to just slip back a tear. That's it. Next, Ben. Now Amelia, you mustn't give way. We have all got to die sometime or other. So as Ben observed that Amelia was crying, she was becoming emotional, Ben said, you mustn't give way. See here, give way means, what is the meaning here? Here give way means emotional. Okay, emotional. Don't be emotional. Like that he said. And one more thing, what he said, one day we all will also die. So sometime or other we also die. So don't feel at all. Like that he tried to console her. He tried to console her. Okay, next. Jordan. And now perhaps you will tell us all about it. So this Elizabeth was asking her sister, okay, tell me what happened, why, how it was happened. Suddenly, what happened? Tell me now. Like that she had asked. Then Slater, she told, father had been merry this morning. He went out soon after breakfast to pay his insurance. Actually, today he was merry. Here merry means, generally merry means happy, children. But here in this context, merry means he was little bit upset. He was in hurry. He went somewhere this morning after his breakfast. I think he went to pay his insurance amount. I think he went to pay his premium amount. Like that, Amelia said. Then Ben, what he said, my God, it's a good thing he did. So they were thinking that this Meriwether, he was paying some insurance amount. Insurance means, you know that, right, children. So if we save money after the death, we'll get that amount according to their terms and conditions. The amount will be like it's maybe double, or according to the terms, we'll get money. So that will be given to the nominees. Obviously here the children will be nominees. So that's why they are feeling happy. They are enjoying. Okay, we may get that insurance amount also. Like that they were thinking that. And then Jordan says, he always was thoughtful in that way. He was too honorable to have gone without paying his premium. Yes, he's always thinking about that. He always wanted to pay the premium. So he must be paid that. No doubt in that. So it was the good thing that was done by him. Okay, next Henry says, and when I came in, I found him undressed, sure enough, and snug in bed. Snug means warm and comfortable, children. Okay, so again, so morning, just he had his breakfast and he went outside. I'm thinking that maybe he went to pay his insurance amount, and when he returned back, just he directly went to his bedroom, and when I went there, he was just undressed. Sure enough, that means just he had changed his clothes and he was in his bed, that was snug. Snug means warm and comfortable. That means just he was like under the bed sheets, everything he covered himself with the bed sheets. He was looking like he was in fast asleep. He was in a fast asleep. He was in a deep sleep. Like that she thought. So she was explaining what happened later. We'll see. Next, what happened? Mrs. Slater. And when we would finish dinner, I thought I would take up a bit of something on a tray. He was lying there for all the world as if he was asleep. So I put it on the tray down on the bureau, just correcting herself on the chest of drawers, and went to waken him. A pause, he was quite cold. Again, a pause, they wiped their eyes and sniffed back tears. So just he was all in his bedroom itself. So at night after we finished our dinner, just I wanted to give something to him to eat. So I took something in a tray. I went to his bedroom. When I went there, I saw him. He was in a deep sleep. Okay, and not only that, so what I did, just I wanted to wake him up. I wanted to give that one to eat. So I placed that tray on the bureau. So generally, so she forgot about that. She forgot that bureau has been shifted to hall. So actually it was happened. She placed the tray on the bureau itself. But later she has shifted that, right? She forgot about that. Okay, so just what she said, I have placed it on bureau, but immediately again she realized and she corrected herself by saying that no, it's not bureau. I just have placed it on the chest of drawers. Like that, she gave the explanation. Okay, and next what happened to Meriwether? We'll see that. Okay, Mrs. Slater. Well, will you go up and look at him now, or shall we have tea? So she explained how it was happening, and then also she asked, so what shall we do now? Shall we go and see father, or we'll have some tea? Like that. See, Elizabeth came to know that her father was died. She came, but she doesn't want to see her father. She was chatting with her sister. She was asking about the property details. Even she wanted to have some tea also. That's how she is. Okay. Next, Mrs. Jordan. What do you say, Ben? I'm not particular. I'm not particular means okay. As you wish, I don't have any idea, like the Ben said. Then Mrs. Jordan said, well, then if the kettle's ready, we may as well have tea first. So they decided that we'll have tea first and later we'll go and see father. Like that they decided. And later the conversation goes on like this. Henry, he says, one thing we may as well decide now is the announcement in the papers. So generally we see the announcement in papers, right, if anyone dies. Okay, so Henry was discussing about the announcement. So what about the announcement when we have to give? So he was talking about that. And then Jordan says that, well, we'll think about it after tea. And then we'll look through his bits of things and make a list of them. There is all the furniture in his room. So Ben said, okay, no problem. We'll think about that later. But just first we'll drink some tea. We'll have some tea. After that we'll do one thing. We'll just try to make the list of the things. Whatever he was having. The furniture, whatever it is there in his room. We'll make the list of all those things. Why he was saying like that? Obviously they have to share equally. So that's why first itself they wanted to have the list. Okay. Next. Henry. There is no jewelry or valuables of that sort. Nothing is very valuable or important. There is no jewelry at all. So very small things, like that Henry said. Next, Jordan says, expect his gold, except his gold watch, he promised that to our Jimmy. So this Elizabeth Jordan, she was having one boy, one son. So his name was Jimmy. So about him, no details are given in the lesson. We don't know of how many years old he is, or other details are not given in the lesson. But just this information is like Jimmy is son of Elizabeth Jordan. And what was she saying? Okay, if there are no valuables or jewelry, okay, no problem at all. But there must be one golden watch. And father actually, he promised to my son. So I have to take that golden watch. Like that, who said? Elizabeth Jordan said. Okay. Next. Mrs. Slater. Promised your Jimmy? I never heard of that. So Slater is asked, promised to your Jimmy? When? Where? I didn't know about that. I have never heard about that. Like that. Mrs. Jordan. Oh, but he did, Amelia. When he was living with us, he was very fond of Jimmy. So previously, actually at present, before his death, Abel was used to live along with Amelia. Previously, even he used to live with Elizabeth also. So what was she saying? He promised to our Jimmy when he used to live with us. And actually, he was very fond of our Jimmy. Fond of, again, phrasal verb, children. It's like likes. Fond of means likes. So he likes our Jimmy very much. That's why he promised to our Jimmy. Mrs. Slater, well, I don't know. Next, Ben. Anyhow, there is his insurance money. Have you got the receipt for the premium he paid this morning? So Ben, he was saying that, okay, don't fight, leave it. All these are small things. Anyway, there is insurance amount, right? So this is a big amount, definitely. We'll talk about that. And do you have the receipt? Whatever he paid today's morning? He was asking like that. Mrs. Slater, I haven't seen it. Victoria jumps up from the sofa and comes behind the table. Victoria, Mother, I don't think Grandpa went to pay his insurance this morning. So this Victoria, she was talking. She knows about her grandfather. Mom, I don't think grandfather today he went to pay the premium amount. Then where did he go? Victoria, but he didn't go into the town. He met old Mr. Tattersall down the street and they went off past St. Philip's Church. So this girl is having some information. She knows that grandpa didn't pay the premium amount, insurance amount. He didn't go to that office. Then where did he go? She is saying that actually grandpa went to meet his friend. Who is that? Mr. Tattersall. And after that, both of them went to St. Philip's Church. So this little girl was having lot of information. Right, next, Ben. Do you think he hasn't paid it? Was it overdue? Overdue means not paid by the expected time. So, what was, now Ben came to know that, okay, then insurance amount was not paid by him. It was overdue. Overdue means if it is not paid by the time, in time. Okay, expected time. That deadline, cut off line. If it is not paid, then that is called as due, right? Overdue. Okay, then Mrs. Slater, I should think it was overdue then. Something tells me he isn't not paid it. Then Ben says, the drunken old beggar. See, first time when he listened that Abel paid insurance amount, then Ben said, wow, that was the good thing done by him. But again, when he came to know that it was not paid, he started scolding his father-in-law. So these people, what can we understand from this? These people are just giving importance for the property, money only. Not at all giving importance for the people, relationships. So even this, he started scolding the people, the person who was already died. That person also, he was not leaving him also. As soon as he came to know that that insurance payment was not paid, he started scolding or blaming him. That was how he is. Okay, let's continue the lesson. He has done it on purpose, just to annoy us. Who said this? Elizabeth. He did it on purpose. On purpose means wantedly he did that. Just he wanted to annoy us. Annoy means just he wanted to make us serious. After all I have done for him, having to put up with him in the house these 3 years, it's nothing short of swindling. Swindling means cheating. Okay, so then Amelia says, I have been looking after him for 3 years. I have done a lot for him. But what he did to me, he just cheated me. That's what they are discussing. And anyway, but we don't know for certain that he is not paid the premium. So they were thinking, they are not sure whether he had paid or not paid. They don't know exactly. Then Slater says, Victoria, run upstairs and fetch that bunch of keys that's on your grandpa's dressing table. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll search for the receipt. Maybe I think that's there in the desk of the bureau. So we'll try to open that. So they thought like that. So she informed Victoria to go up and fetch. Fetch means bring. Bunch of keys that were on the grandpa's dressing table. Victoria timidly in grandpa's room. Timidly means she's afraid. So she's a little girl, right? So she can't go near to the dead body. So she was afraid and told grandpa's room. And anyway, Mrs. Slater says, don't talk so silly. There is no one who can hurt you. Okay, so Victoria goes out reluctantly. Reluctantly means unwillingly. She went to her grandpa's room. Well, we'll see if he has locked the receipt in the bureau. Ben. Mrs. Jordan. Where did you pick that up, Amelia? It's new since last I was here. They examine it closely. So Victoria went to her grandfather's room. Meanwhile, here Ben and Elizabeth, they started observing the bureau. They were observing that. They are examining that. So they were asking, so what is this and where did you buy? Like that. Mrs. Slater. Amelia told, oh, Henry picked it up one day. Victoria returns, very scared. She closes the door after her. So see, look at Amelia. What is she saying? That bureau actually brought by whom? That was brought by her father. But what is she saying? One day Henry got that. One day Henry brought that. Like that. And while discussing like that, Victoria, she returns and she looked very scared. And of course she closed the door also. And what Victoria said? Mother, mother, grandpa's getting up. So what she said? Mother, mother, grandpa's getting up. So actually they thought that he was died. But what is she saying? Victoria, she is saying that grandpa is getting up. When? What? What do you say? Again Victoria says, grandpa is getting up. Then Jordan says, the child's crazy. This child is crazy. Crazy means she gone mad. What happened to her? How the person who was already died, how can he get up? What is she talking? What happened to her? She must have been joking or she must have gone mad. Like that she said. But Mrs. Slater, don't talk so silly. Don't you know your grandpa's died? Victoria, no, he's getting up. I saw him. So still Victoria was explaining that and they are transfixed with amazement. Amazement means surprised. Victoria clings to Mrs. Slater. Clings means like hugs. She hugs to her mother because she was very afraid. She was scared. Okay. And Ben says suddenly, shh, listen. So Ben observed something. So that's what he said. As all of them were talking, Ben said, shh, listen. Okay. So just see the last paragraph. They look at the door. All of them looked at the door. A slight chuckling is heard from the upstairs. Chuckling means quite laugh. Upstairs, actually, where was dead body or their father, Abel Merriweather? Where was he? He was upstairs, right? So all of them, they started listening carefully. Then they observed slight quite laugh. Chuckling means some laughing. They observed that somebody was laughing. Okay, and the door opens, revealing an old man clad in a faded but gay dressing gown. Okay, so here, so while they were observing, already Victoria closed the door, right? But the door was open and they observed, that was revealed. Revealed means like it was open, that secret was open, and they observed one old man clad. Clad means dressed in a faded. Faded means dull. Okay, but gay dressing down. Here gay means like attractive design, children. Here the meaning is attractive design. So they observed one old man who was dressed in a light color but very attracting design. Okay, and he is in his stockinged feet. Okay, so that means what? Socks. Just he was wearing socks but no shoes. Okay, although over 70, he is vigorous. Vigorous means he was very strong. So the old man, how was he? He was looking very strong and of course well colored. He's bright, malicious. Here generally malicious means harmful, but here we can understand he was like little bit angry. Okay, so he was his bright malicious eyes twinkle under his heavy reddish grey eyebrows. Okay, so here heavy reddish grey, children, we should not say eyebrow, it's eyebrows. Okay, like that. So he was looking like that. He is obviously either the old man Abel Merryweather or else his ghost. So all of them, they were surprised, they were in shock. They observed the old man, so they didn't understand whether that man is a real Abel Merryweather or else his ghost. So that was the end of the lesson, Dear Departed One. Here children, if you look at the picture, you can understand. So here you can see that Abel Merryweather was coming down. Okay, so we don't know whether he is alive or it's ghost. That will understand by reading the second part only. So this is that's all for today. I'm going to end the session. I hope you understood the lesson. Today's homework is write all the hard words, glossary in classwork, and write summary in your classwork. Tomorrow we'll see the second part. Thank you.